During the long, dark days of the work stoppage, a lot of people told us, I don't care about the details, just tell me when it's over. Well, folks, it's over. Let's drop the puck on a fresh start and a wonderful future for the National Hockey League.
People were hurt by this in all aspects of the game, but it's a new, fresh start. I've liked what I've seen in the preseason. I think hockey's only going to get better.
I'll tell you what, the Islanders look to have about as deep a roster as they've had in a long time. For example, look at the top line. A lot of skill here.
Yeah, there really is. And again, Mike Milbury wanted more skill on this team because of the new rules. Alexei Yashin, they're hoping that he can regain some of the form from a few years ago. He's shooting the puck much better. And of course, now he's the new captain of the team as well. And he's got someone on his right side that is very highly skilled, and he played right here in Buffalo for the last 7 seasons, and that's Miroslav Shatan, who can do so much. He can handle the puck, he can shoot the puck, he can skate, he can pass. They'll utilize him on the power play. And then how about a rookie to play on the other side? Robert Nielsen has been very impressive. I mean, this is a kid that's got great vision and tremendous hands, and he's more of a passer than he's been a shooter, and so he should fit in well with those two great shooters.
On defense, the Islanders lost Janssen, O'Coin, and Hammerlick, so Mike Milbury had to go shopping, and he fared very, very well.
Well, he'd been shopping for over 2 years for this guy right here, Brent Sopel. They watched him play for 2 years, and were hoping that they'd get a chance to acquire him. This is an all-around player. He's got good size. You can see there he shot the puck, and then he's going to be playing alongside this man right here, another ex-Buffalo Sabre. That's Alexei Zhitnik, who can do so much. He can play well defensively. He can take the man out. He can shoot the puck as well. And then a third one, as you talked about, Brad Lukowicz. We'll see him here score a couple of goals when he played for the Stanley Cup winning Tampa Bay Lightning. But Brad Lukowicz is more of a defensive-minded leader for this team.
Plus, another new face on the forward line for the Islanders, another skilled player, Mike York. In fact, Steve Sterling was raving about the chemistry between York and Trent Hunter. So at long last, it's time for hockey.
I don't really say this too often, but I'm not afraid of anybody in our conference. I think we can play with anybody. We, especially if our defense, our young guys come in and can play and can fill some holes, we're built for this, and I'm excited about seeing the challenge met by our team. I think we're ready for it. I think we're ready to match anybody in this conference, and I think our coach is ready to go. I think he's a better coach this year, will be a better coach than he was. Just get that first year behind him and move on. And thankfully, and not insignificantly, the owner of this franchise has once again, rode in on a white horse and given us the kind of assets, more than what I expected, much more than what I expected, to make this team competitive and exciting.
It's a new day for the NHL and a new year for the New York Islanders. The fans of and they are making their way through the gates. Can the Islanders rise to the challenge and rise to the level of their opponent tonight? After a year away, it's the home opener. The visiting Carolina Hurricanes are the guests, and the opening face-off is straight ahead. Through a bit of fog in the home hallway, we welcome in Jason Blake, and you guys have had a couple of days since your opener in Buffalo. What have you been concentrating on?
Well, I think just the biggest thing, our discipline the other night against Buffalo wasn't very good. We took too many penalties, and tonight against any team in this league now, everyone's beefed up their lineup. There's so much skill out there that we have to, play hard but still stay disciplined.
How long does it seem it's been since you guys have been here ready to go on the ice?
Well, it's just, it's been a year and a half, and it's been tough, and, it's just exciting. You hear the crowd out there. Our fans are the best fans in the NHL. They haven't gone anywhere, and they're here to, support a winner.
Well, Jason Blake will hear from the fans, as will all the Islanders, as we're going to send it upstairs and get ready for the player introductions.
Number 8, Tommy Pettis. Number 11, Matthias Weinhandel. Number 12, Ole Kavasha. Number 14, Chris Campoli. Number 16, Mike York. Number 17, Sean Bates. Number 21, Robert Nilsson. Number 25, Brad Lukowicz. Number 29, Petteri Nokalainen. Number 30, Garth Snow. Number 37, Mark Parrish. Number 39, Rick DiPietro. Number 44, Yanni Ninema. Number 45, Aaron Asher. Number 55, Jason Blake. Number 77, Alexei Zhindek. Number 81, Miroslav Shatan. And the captain of your New York Islanders, number 79, Alexei Ashen. Number 619, Eric Goddard and Radek Martinez. The equipment assistant is Tom Kitts. Assistant equipment manager is Richard Krause. Equipment manager is Scott Boone. Massage therapist Nate Gatto. Strength and conditioning coach Gary Tibbs. Head athletic trainer Rich Campbell. Goaltending coach Susie Barrage. Assistant coach Jack Capuano. Assistant coach Dan Bilsma. Assistant coach Brad Shaw. And the Islanders head coach, Mr. Steve Sterling. And now fans, the starting lineup for your New York.
The new NHL met the new Islanders on opening night. There were some familiar faces in all of the usual places. But there was an infusion of young blood and new players looking to make a name for themselves now that they're wearing an Islanders sweater. as the league welcomes back the game tonight, they all say hello to the hometown crowd. This is a look inside the Islanders dressing room. It has been redone. They had a year and a half while they waited for the players to come back. As you see some beautiful black and whites of Islanders history and the 4 Stanley Cups in the dynasty run. And we welcome you back for a 33rd season of New York Islanders hockey. I'm Deb Kaufman in our studios. So from the current Islanders to an Islander past, and Bobby Nystrom, the one and only on the ice to drop the ceremonial first puck. More the 2 captains shaking the hand of Bobby Nystrom as we go upstairs to our Islander greats and the guys who will call it tonight. It's Howie Rose and Joe Micheletti.
All right, Deb, and Bobby Nye is a guy that was around Long Island all through the lockout. He lived here throughout his entire playing career. He has continued to live here since retiring as a player and still very much a part of the fabric of this Islander franchise, Joe.
You see him all over the place. He hasn't, even though he gets busy with business, you talk about going to charitable events and that type of thing, and he's always there.
Well, the business of hockey has come back to the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, and it certainly is about time. Rick DiPietro will be in goal for the Islanders, and the other half of the goaltending matchup tonight, Joe, is a big story. Cam Ward.
Boy, he was something last night. He had his first NHL start last night, just 21 years of age, a first-round pick of Carolina back in 2002. And Martin Gerber, who was signed as a free agent from Anaheim, was their number 1, but he was hurt. There's, of course, Peter Laviolette, the former Islander coach, and now the head coach in Carolina. And Cam Ward last night was spectacular. Led 2-0 going into the 3rd. Pittsburgh scored twice, and then they won it in a shootout. And he stopped Mario Lemieux, Ziggy Palffy, and that other young kid that's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, that Crosby fellow.
Yeah.
Steve Sterling wants a little more discipline out of his team tonight, and he'll start the Yashin line with Nielsen and Shatan up front, Brent Sopel and Alexei Zhitnik on defense, and immediately the Hurricanes shoot the puck into the crowd.
Yeah, you talk about Steve Sterling, and he said, you know, we skated, but we didn't skate as smart as Buffalo did, which is a very quick team. We tried to skate with the puck instead of letting the puck do the work, passing it, and then moving to the openings. He said, we've got to do that tonight because this Carolina team is very quick up front.
When Wesley, number 2, back to touch up for an icing. Wesley is part of a veteran defense tandem the coaches have had trying to identify the dive now, which is becoming more and more of a factor given what you cannot do when you're defending.
Yeah, but if you read the box scores, you've got referees that are calling the dive around the league. They're trying to keep a keen eye out for players that are trying to draw penalties.
So the Islanders to the penalty kill where they spent a lot of time in Buffalo. They had to try to kill off 11 and gave up 2 power play goals. And here's a lead for Blake. Driving towards the net, short-handed, can't find the handle as he was checked by Stahl. Eric Stahl, number 12, hounded by Blake. Blake works it free. Out to the blue line with a shot, a stick save made by Ward, and then the rebound came to the stick of Blake. A good shot there by Lukowicz from the point, and now back the other way comes Williams, number 11. And as he moved laterally, that forced the play offside. 43 seconds into the penalty to Kavasha.
What a shift by Jason Blake, and you don't think the people here appreciate that? A long pass initially, and then that started all the pressure. Lukowicz ends up with this shot, but it was Lukowicz that started the play with the long pass, and then Blake just kept buzzing, kept going.
Asham, Parrish, Ninema, and Petnin are the Islander penalty killers. DiPietro couldn't clear. Now Cole, a backhander, goes wide. Zigomanis, number 18, to Cole. And that quick shot went to the left of DiPietro. Good hit by Asham, but Cole recovers. And DiPietro with a glove save on Eric Cole.
Eric Cole was so impressive last night in the game. He had a very, very good training camp.
And then Commodore follows and hits that loose stick on the ice. But Kavasha couldn't come clean with it, creating a chance for Stillman that DiPietro denies. Islanders scrambling with 2:56 left in the first.
Hitting a little bit, and thank God for DiPietro.
He clearly was the best Islander in that first period as the Hurricanes outshot the Islanders by a severe margin over the latter part of the period.
Well, here's the goal by Stahl. A beautiful pass from Wasicek, and Stahl on the breakaway uses a wrist shot to beat DiPietro over the glove hand. That was the only goal of the period. But the whole story was DiPietro. I mean, the Islanders easily could be down by 5 or 6 goals at this point with all the chances that Carolina had. And it was DiPietro is very sharp around the front of the net. Not only on many occasions had to stop the first shot, but had to stop a second shot as well. Carolina, I thought, kind of took control of the game when they were on the power play. They got going. That shot was knocked right out of midair by Wasicek. And again, DiPietro had to be sharp with the left leg. A problem also in the period for the Islanders were turnovers. And again, Carolina was the team that was scaling. The Islanders were the team that was standing still and giving the puck away.
The shots were 17-5 Carolina, but the Islanders trailed by just 1.
Those white jerseys. Again, this is the style that Peter Laviolette has his team playing. With the way the game is being called now, he wants 5 players back close to the net so that if someone does get beat, they can get help from someone who's very close, someone that's in the area.
You know what Peter said this morning? The best 5 minutes he spent in the morning were the 5 minutes he chatted with Mike Milbury.
You know, I was there for that because I was talking to Peter when Mike walked up, and Mike walked up to him first and asked him how he was doing, how's the family, do you need anything while you're here, any way I can help you. I mean, no, they had a very pleasant, friendly conversation, very sincere conversation.
Certainly no animosity left on Peter's part.
And they both understand that this is business.
Stahl centers it.
That line has just come off the ice, so they were tired, and so they didn't see any power play time.
Williams took Blake's feet out from under him. But Blake continues with the Hurricanes sending it all the way down. DiPietro hands off to Sopel. Sopel and Campoli, the point men, as Campoli turns it in deep. Ward flings it all the way around, but not quite out. Kept alive by Hunter for Blake. Pressure from Adams and Williams of Carolina produces a bouncing puck that lands in the corner. Wesley finds Williams in his own zone, but Adams couldn't handle a very tough pass until the Hurricanes finally help him out by chipping it into the Islander end, and the Islanders change up halfway through the power play. This is Yashin going wide. Yashin all the way across to Sopel. Lets it go. Deflected. Ward the save. Blake with a shot. He scores! Jason Blake on the power play. And the Islanders tie it at 1.
Going to the net and then getting the shot on the net are the keys to this goal right here. Blake, who has had a good night along with his line mates. Sopel does a good job. Sopel had a very good shift. Sopel got it to the net with Blake going there. Ward made the save, and then Blake just finds it. Look at all the bodies there. Blake just finds it, pulls it over to the short side, and puts it in. And so a power play goal, and the Islanders have come back to tie it.
So Blake with his second. Yashin made a long feed to Sopel to get that shot. And then Blake with a finish. And the Islanders, you could feel them coming over the last few minutes, get closer and closer. Finally tie it up, and that really gets the crowd revved up as the puck deflects into the seats. 6:43 remaining in the second period, and the Islanders finally solve Cam Ward.
Yeah, what you would expect with Carolina playing a very emotional game last night at home, their home opener, and winning 3-2 in a shootout over Pittsburgh. Flying last night. They got off to a good start. The Islanders were tight to start the game. So the Islanders are kind of picking up the pace of their game, and Carolina's pace has diminished somewhat.
And a bad penalty is what set up the power play. Commodore with that interference penalty in the neutral zone. Here's Yashin charging to the net, and Ward got a piece of that backhander from right in close. Yashin again. Oh, and Ward with a big kick save to Rob Yashin. That was a good, quick shot by Alexei Yashin. Oh, did Ward ever throw that left skate out in a hurry?
What a save. What a save he made. His first save in his first start last night was against Mario Lemieux. Ward showed up in camp a couple of years ago and was very impressive. And Yashin, excellent shift to follow the assist he made on the Blake. Here it is again. Look at that left pad save. Beautiful, beautiful save by Ward. And then that one there also on Yashin. Ward got his right arm on that one.
Yashin, we mentioned the good pass that he made to Sopel to initiate the play which led to the goal. It won't get him an assist because Parrish was in on the scramble too. Parrish gets the second assist. Sopel and Parrish assisting on Blake's second at 13:01. And Peter Laviolette, not liking the trend, has called a timeout. And so that'll give us a chance to look 1-0 going into the second, and the Islanders gradually, Joe, seemed to take the play away.
Well, they were skating, and they were really on top of the play. And they created scoring chances by moving the puck, by getting it in forechecking, getting the puck to the net. When this line with Hunter and York and Blake was just tremendous tonight. And there's a shot that went off the crossbar that was deflected by Parrish, and then this one ends up in the net, but was a no-goal because Parrish bumped into the goaltender Ward, so that did not count. But the Islanders eventually ended up going on the power play, as there's the explanation being given to both Mark Parrish and Alexei Yashin as to why the goal did not count. And then when the Islanders went back on the power play, Yashin with the long pass, Sopel gets the shot through, and Blake just wouldn't give up. See how he stopped, went back to the puck, gathered it in, and then beat the goaltender Ward on the short side.
30-22 in shots for Carolina, and a whole lot of scoring chances. DiPietro and Ward have been strong. The third period is coming right up.
The box, DiPietro getting a skate worked on at the Islander bench.
Scott Moon did the honors, and Rick DiPietro is ready. Remember the other night when we thought DiPietro might have been hurt when he slid across the goal mouth in Buffalo? Well, it was what we suspected also, that he might be just trying to settle things down. And he had the officials right there with him, but good job by Ricky to sell the stoppage. And right there, the old sharpen the skate axe. And I'm sure he needed it. But in any event, the Hurricanes go to the power play. Here's Cullen firing, and a quick pad save by DiPietro before it's cleared by Bates. You know, a goaltender, it's very hard, right, for a goaltender to be a leader, if not the leader on a team. But DiPietro is showing an awful lot of that leadership quality at a very young age.
No, he's a fiery competitor. I mean, he'll do anything to win.
Hurricanes setting up the power play. Cole lost it to Bates, and Bates gets rid of it, and the Islanders will change up. 45 gone to the power play already. Islanders have Pettinen back with Sopel, Asham, and Blake up front. Wazicek steers it all the way around past DiPietro, held in by Cullen to Tverdovsky, but Asham got in the way of that. Now Sopel lugs it out, trying to get away from Wazicek, turned it over, and Wazicek heads up the other way. Wazicek in over the line. Now to Tverdovsky. Faked the shot, gave it to Stoll, stripped by Blake. And Jason Blake hounds Tverdovsky. Stays with him, took him down. But play continues. 43 to go on the Carolina power play. Stahl bursting into the zone, slowed down by Pettinen. Islanders don't clear. Stillman shot, pad save, 2 saves, and DiPietro holds on.
And while all that was going on, Peter Laviolette screaming at the referee, Kerry Frazier, that there should have been a call on Blake down at the other end. And DiPietro makes 3 good saves in a row. But Laviolette still giving it to Kerry Frazier. It should be a penalty. Why isn't there a penalty? So this is Stahl. Boy, he's a good-looking young player, isn't he? Big, he can skate. Scored the only Carolina goal in this game.
Now the long feed to Cullen with Pettinen back. Pettinen stick checking Cullen with a backhander. And DiPietro had to stop that. And now Winehandle leaning in, but Cole got to it first. Tverdovsky works it back in behind the net for Cullen. Cullen looking for a man in front, finds Cole, hopped over his stick. Wesley a drive, and that's grabbed by DiPietro.
Oh, you mentioned Ward making the defensive play. Ward was anticipating that this league was going to change in the way they played. And so what he did is he is 15 pounds lighter now than he was a couple of years ago, because he just felt that he was going to need more quickness with the way the game was going to be called, and more stamina, and he's got both. Made a good play on that defensive play.
Now Shatan for the Islanders springs Nielsen up to the Carolina line. Robert Nielsen whips it across for Shatan. Fires towards the net, deflected, and goes in.
Teverdowski knocked it in, Howie. The save was made by Ward from a bad angle. The puck came up in the air, and Teverdowski with his stick tried to play it as the puck was in the air. Hit it once, and then tried to hit it one more time before it went in the net. Here it comes. There's the shot. There's Teverdowski, and then he tries to reach one more time. He just knocked it past his own goaltender. There it is, off his blade, and then tries to, as it's floating slowly towards the net, which is an awful feeling. He was swiping at it, trying to get it away from the net. He did not, and the Islanders take the lead.
Just the way Miroslav Shatan visualized it after signing with the Islanders. Just fire the wide pass and see where it goes.
You never know what will happen if you throw it at the net.
The Islanders get the lead. That's the first time in the first 2 games of this season that they have been in front. 6 minutes gone in the third, 2-1 New York. Here's Stillman firing at DiPietro. Stop that.
New York's in the penalty box for high sticking. I think everyone thought it was Hunter.
I did.
So did I. But York is the man whistled off, so Carolina, trailing by a goal, has another chance in the power play, and they have yet to score a power play goal this year. 0 for 14, I believe.
Well, let's see. Hunter wears 7. York is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. So maybe that's what Lego was doing. He was far, far away when he called that penalty. Was Mike Lego. And Matt Cullen stripped of the puck, and on comes Kavasha. Let's one go, and he missed the net. Comes hard around right to the stick of Stahl. And he sends Stillman on his way. Corey Stillman turned it over. Kavasha took it away and now sends Bates up the left wing. Kavasha heading towards the net. Bates carries up. Bates with a shot. He scores! Short-handed goal. Sean Bates.
Now Corey Stillman had control of the puck right here. He tries to wait, he'll give it up right there. Now watch Bates with the, Bates is thinking of passing here and then just shows a lot of patience. Waits, and then that quick wrist shot just inside the post. What a goal by Bates. He had Kavasha on the other side. He looked a couple of times to see if he could get the pass through and very wisely elected to hold on to the puck. And eventually Teverdowski, the defenseman, slid down to try and block it, but Bates again waited for him to slide by and then took the shot. Huge goal. Islanders up by 2.
And Ola Kavasha, who struggled throughout most of the first couple of periods, made a nice play to chip that puck loose. And Bates, with the Islanders' first shorthanded goal of the year, gets it 1:27 after Shatan had given the Islanders the lead, and then DiPietro called on to make 2 saves as Brindamore denied right on the doorstep. And DiPietro continues to come up huge in this game. That's 40 shots now for the Hurricanes.
Now DiPietro told me, he said with these smaller gloves, it's more difficult to catch the puck. And you saw there that high shot. He tried to catch it. There was a rebound. Then he had to make a very good save on Brindamore on the rebound.
39 seconds left to the Carolina power play. DiPietro tried to glove that puck, had it deflect away, and almost dropped into the net behind him.
Now it hit the top of the net as well.
Bates with a shorthanded goal. He's got 54 goals in his career, and 12 of them have been shorthanded.
Now what a turnaround this game has been. Now Carolina has 40 shots on goal, and here it is again. You're right, Howie. Good job by Kavasha coming from behind to dislodge the puck. And there's Bates. He keeps looking, waits for the defenseman Teverdowski to slide by, and then the quick wrist shot. Good shot by Bates. I think it's 3-1. Kavasha should get an assist. But thus far, they're giving it to Bates unassisted, and it was Kavasha that made the play. Howie, you were right on top of that. Here it is again. Now watch from behind. You'll see a stick come in. That was Kavasha. Good job by Kavasha, as Stillman didn't see him coming from behind. He should get an assist on this, but as of right now, doesn't, and then Bates does the rest of the work.
So 3-1 New York. 10 seconds left on the power play with 11:42 to go in the third period. Williams behind the net, feeds out to the circle where Hedeken fires it wide. Bates and Commodore came together hard, but York's out of the box. Penalty over. Adams slides it across, and DiPietro somehow stopped that. And Back up the right wing comes Blake before dumping it in, and the Islanders change up. 41-26 Carolina in shots. And of those 41, you got to figure at least half of them have been from, what would you say, 15 feet or closer to DiPietro?
Yeah. In particular, that first period, DiPietro stopped a lot of those close-in shots. And that last one, I'm not sure if he got a pad on it or if it just hit somebody, but that looked like a freebie for Carolina.
Islanders moving back.
It was, you know, he was wide open.
Campoli fires. Ward kicks that out. And Sopel twists it around the boards. 40 saves tonight for Rick DiPietro. Third time in his career that's happened. The way the game is looking this year, it'll happen a lot more. Going to be a penalty.
That's a penalty on Cole. I mean, the fans recognized it. Kerry Frazier was the back referee that made the call. And the reason he made the call is Cole took the feet out from Campoli, knocked him down, and that created a scoring chance. As soon as he got to the puck, Kerry Frazier made it. There it is right there. Takes his feet out, and then as Cole retrieves the puck, makes the call. Here's the one that looked like almost a sure goal. Oh, what a play by Lukovic. Lukovic with the stick. Boy, that net was wide open on the other side. Lukovic with the little deflection of the puck prevented a goal.
DiPietro down. Raleigh tried to bank it off of him, and then DiPietro hit. Takes quite a tumble, and now Adams immediately attended to by Campoli. Campoli now roughed up by Williams, and then Blake flies to the defense of Campoli.
DiPietro was bumped into by Adams, and that's why Campoli went after him. Let's see how all this turns out. But Campoli was the first one to react. I'm not sure if there was going to be a penalty called on the contact with DiPietro. I kind of think there was. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw the referee raise a hand, and then Campoli jumped in. So I'm suspecting that this will all be evened out. Bates goes into the box, as he was another player that jumped in and got involved with, after Campoli was the first player, Bates was the second. Here's the play in front. There's the collision, which looked to me to be accidental, but Campoli, who reacted right away, obviously felt it wasn't. And then Bates jumped in there as well. Let's see again. There wasn't much. I think DiPietro helped it a little bit.
I'll tell you what, though, the message was certainly delivered the other night when Rick DiPietro had to stand up for Campoli, and the team got together. You talked about it before. They discussed it. They said that couldn't happen again, and here DiPietro gets hit. Several players wind up coming to Rick's defense. Hope you heard our pregame show. To the bench. The Carolina net is empty. Cullen draped behind the net by Zhitnik. Zhitnik unable to gain control. Zigomanis turns it back in deep. Cullen centers. Big save by DiPietro. Maybe his best of the night on Stahl from right out in front. 32 seconds left. Islanders trying to hang on here. Zigomanis working along the boards. Takes it wide. Now gives it to Stahl. Good play there by Sean Bates. But it's taken back by Stahl. Put it in front. Backhanded out of the zone by Parrish. All the way down, but wide of the net. And that'll be an icing with 11.3 seconds remaining in the third period.
And the problem, the Islanders can't make a player change. The players that are out there are tired. I mean, they're all kind of bending over. Kavasha standing up a little bit, bending over, trying to catch their breath. And a good timeout right here by Steve Sterling. An excellent timeout. Now, he can't change his players, but he gives the ones that are on the ice a break with 11.3 seconds to go, and the face-off will be to the left of Rick DiPietro. I mean, look at Bates, Kavasha. They're all kind of trying to get their second wind as they get ready, but what a save by DiPietro. Wow.
Well, Eric Stahl is given credit for the second Carolina goal. I thought, along with you, Joe, that puck actually was over the line before Stahl finished the job. However, they give it to Stahl, and he might have had another one if not for the work of DiPietro.
Oh, there it is there. That's the shot by Stahl. The feed from behind the net. And DiPietro, so quick, is able to make the save.
You know, you think about what's on the line here for the last 11.3 seconds. He's That's big points because this is a conference opponent, Carolina. The Islanders just 11.3 seconds away if they could hold on from taking 2, and Carolina trying to guarantee themselves 1. Zigomanis and Bates draw. Sits at the circle. Stahl tied up by Kavasha. That allows Bates to come clear with it. Down to 5. Williams has to move it quickly, but Shipnick took him down, and the Islanders have won their home opener.
I'm very surprised that Rod Brindamore didn't take the face-off. He had the youngster Zigomanis, a right-handed shot, try and draw it towards the boards, and Bates didn't win it, but he didn't lose it. They tied, and all that little delay there allowed the players to come in and eventually get the puck, throw it behind the net, and end it. And that man right there, DiPietro, should be jumping for joy. Here it is again, Zigomanis. Now, he didn't lose it. Nobody really won the face-off. And as that is going on, time is ticking down on the clock. And by the time Shipnick makes this play, that's it. It's over. What a night for DiPietro. The Islanders were really struggling in the first period. And again, that sometimes happens in your home opener after you've had a couple of days off, coming off a tough loss, and a team that comes in that had played last night. The Islanders just couldn't get anything going in that first period, didn't have their legs, didn't look very quick, but they sure found it in the second period.
What a terrifically entertaining game, and you'd have to say the same about the Buffalo game, too. As tonight, there were 79 total shots. And the goaltender, the star of the show for the Islanders, here are the 3 stars.
Number 3, Brent Sopel.
Brent Sopel had a good, solid game for the Islanders.
The second
Had an assist.
from the New York Islanders, number 17.
John Bates played well all night. Short-handed goal, killed penalties, played a physical game tonight, did Sean Bates, and the star of the show. I mean, it's just, this kid is something. I'll tell you what, he was something in the first period. I mean, the whole game, but the first period, he gave his team a chance to win. And you gotta love him. I mean, he's so enthusiastic all the time.
If only he enjoyed himself a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
DiPietro is just fabulous from start to finish tonight. 42 saves, tying the second highest number he's had in an NHL game.